Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are having a great day today. For this week's video, we've got two amazing guitars from Gretsch lined up. We've got the Duo Jet versus the Pro Jet. Let's get started. Now, a few of you guys definitely noticed this Jet hanging on the string swing guitar rack back there and left comments on various videos saying, when are we going to hear the Jet? And if you follow me on Instagram, I played it over there. But for most of you guys, you probably haven't heard this yet. And it was killing me just having it hanging there and not being able to play it for you guys. So today we're doing the Duo Jet, which is the Japanese high-end version, versus the Pro Jet, which is the Chinese kind of mid-range offering. And we're going to see which one is the best value for money. So the Duo Jet has been in production since the mid-50s and offers a really amazing single cut playing experience. So if you're a fan of single cut guitars, you need to do yourself a favor, head down to your music store and go try out some Jets. Now, if you're curious as to how the Duo Jet stacks up against a Gibson Les Paul Traditional, I did a comparison last year. I'll link to that above. Really interesting comparison between two classic guitars. Now, before we launch into our fully featured tone comparison, let's talk about a few ways this Pro Jet is different from a Duo Jet. Now, as you guys can see, the Pro Jet is made in China. Now, that's obviously a huge difference over the Japanese-made Duo Jet. You can obviously produce an instrument for a lot less money in China. But what are some of the compromises or differences between the Duo Jet? Now, to be completely honest, the differences are quite vast. First of all, you have a basswood body, a maple top, you have a rosewood fingerboard, and a maple neck. Now, on the Duo Jet, you have a mahogany body, a mahogany neck, an ebony fingerboard, and a maple top. So another big difference between these two guitars is how the neck is attached to the body. So here you can see the body binding coming here, and you can see how the neck is sitting high above that binding. So the whole neck and the fingerboard is sitting up above. Very different than the Pro Jet. From this angle, hopefully you guys can see as well. The fingerboard is not flush to the body. You have, a big chunk of that neck plus the fingerboard. So pickups are sitting high, bridge is sitting high. Very different than the Pro Jet. So here you can see the body binding and the neck binding meeting. And of course, from this angle, you can see the fingerboard binding sitting right on top of the body. Now on the front face of this guitar, we have a licensed version of the B5 Bigsby. Now in all honesty, it's been great and a lot of fun to play on. And it hasn't felt that much different than my regular B5, which is on that surf green telly behind me. So we've got the full Bigsby and the licensed Bigsby. Both have been really great. Now, as for the rest of the controls on this guitar, we have our three-way switch up here. We've got the classic Gretsch master volume right there, and then individual volumes for our pickups here and a master tone control back here. Now, the tuning machines on the Pro Jet are basic vintage style tuners and are completely serviceable. They're great tuners, nothing amazing, but they seem to do the job. Now, the nut was sticking quite badly when I got this guitar, so I pulled the strings out and just polished up the nut slots, cleaned out some of the rough edges in there, and after that, it's held tune quite well. Other than that, we have Gretsch's blacktop Filtatron pickups designed specifically for this mid-range line. And of course, we get the thumbnail inlays, just like the Big Brother, which is absolutely awesome. I love the looks of the thumbnail inlays. Small thing, but I love it. Now in the Duo Jet, we get TB Jones pickups and a fixed tailpiece. We get a master volume and then individual pickup volumes, but no tone control. We have the tone toggle. So a little bit different. And then the front one is your three-way switch. All right, you guys, that wraps up our feature run through. So what we're going to do is plug both guitars into my Blue Angel amp. We're going to mic it up with a Sennheiser E906 on the grill and an SR25 from Earthworks a few inches off the grill. So we'll go through each one of the pickup positions. Here we go. Okay, now that we've heard those neck pickups, let's head over to the bridge pickup and play some raunchy blues. This should be classic Gretsch territory. Here we go. right, now let's head to the middle position on our selector, which is the neck pickup and the bridge pickup on simultaneously. We're going to play clean again for you guys. Here we go. Okay, let's crank up the gain, head back to our bridge position, and see what it sounds like. Okay, now let's take these guitars and do some simple, basic arpeggio picking. I always find this comparison extremely revealing and really shows the sonic differences between each instrument. Alright, now so far the Pro Jet has definitely had a little bit more bite and brightness to it than the Duo Jet, but what we're going to do now is play these guitars in a mix and see which one sits best. All right, you guys, let's wrap up today's comparison with the easy stuff first. Let's talk about fit and finish. This goes to, unsurprisingly, the Japanese-made Duo Jet. I've said on the channel before, there's not much else on the planet currently being made like a Japanese Gretsch. They're just in an upper echelon with like, you know, maybe 4 or 5 other manufacturers. They're just amazing, amazing guitars. So that's not to say the Pro Jet is bad, but when you sit down and play them back to back, the difference is evident. But I think the Pro Jet definitely, you know, holds its own up against Epiphone, up against, you know, PRS SE, up against G&L Tribute, up against Sterling Music Man, those kind of guitars in that sort of $500 to $1,000 price range. The Pro Jet is definitely not outclassed, and it's an awesome instrument, but fit and finish definitely goes to the Japanese Gretsch. All right, so let's talk about general playability. Now, between these two guitars, very, very similar. So even though the Pro Jet is basswood, which is usually chosen to make the guitars lighter, they weigh about the same. So full mahogany with maple, basswood with maple, really, you know, they're about the same weight. Balance is excellent on both. They both have, you know, the skinny Gretsch headstock, which I really like because you never ever get neck dive on them, which is awesome. And tuning stability generally is good. Once I polished up the nut slots here, it's good. And on the Japanese one, it's always been amazing. Now, one more thing I'd like to quickly add is I really like it when manufacturers use maple on their mid-range offerings. I just think it's a better choice. It's so much stronger than mahogany, and on a painted neck like this, you never notice anyway. So, you know, if you prefer, I'll grab this one again. If you prefer the look of mahogany on a single cut guitar and you don't want to see maple, well, lots of them, including PRS SE, they use maple on their mid-range one. Same here, it's painted, you'd never notice the difference, but I just think, you know, if younger players tend to buy more affordable guitars, having something a little bit more durable, especially on a tilt back design like this, having stronger maple is a great choice. And finally, let's wrap up talking about the tone. So I found myself really liking the Pro Jet, the brightness, the biting. Really reminded me of a Tele in some ways, but without all the 60 cycle hum. So that's why I really like those Filtertron pickups, because you get that, some of that brightness, but you know, it can get really dirty and handle that gritty, raunchy overdrive really well too. So I really love those Filtertron pickups. The Duo Jet I thought sounded better on some of the heavier sections. I just liked the fullness and the chunkiness of it that the Pro Jet didn't. So I thought the Duo Jet sounded better on some of the higher gain ones, but for the clean sounds, for the most part, I preferred the Pro Jet, which is cool. And it really doesn't reflect, you know, anything one way or the other. It's all subjective, but I thought, you know, for the price, the Pro Jet offers that quintessential Gretsch sound, and I thought it sounded awesome. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope you really enjoyed this comparison. All my information will be in the video description below. T-shirts, tab store, gear I use, all in the links below. Check that out. Other than that, have an awesome week, you guys. Take care.